Very tasteful.
I think so.
Hi everyone, my name's James Ivey.
Paul Drew.
From the Studio Rats.
Oh, yes.
Now, it's fair to say that my friend and colleague, Mr. Paul Drew, is a big fan of the BluGuitar Amp1.
I think they're brilliant. I just think they sound fantastic. I love the form of it. I love the weight of it. I love the fact that it can fit on a pedal board. Mm-hmm. It's just a brilliant thing.
Brilliant thing. It's a brilliant thing that I have had very little exposure to, if I'm totally honest. And when we had Thomas Blug on our Q&A, our live Q&A, happens every Wednesday, 8 p.m, I mentioned to you afterwards, I said, I really like the sound of I think it was the Mercury Edition.
It was the Mercury Edition, yeah.
Because it sounds to me, it's got a kind of Marshall-y kind of oomph about it. I thought, I really like that. I might have to look at getting myself one of those.
It's more vintage. It's more vintage than the Iridium one.
Yeah, and the Iridium, the black one, is great. And I always said, it's almost like Marshall, kind of Marshall modern, sort of vintage Marshall sounds, sort of more modern American sounds, almost.
Yeah, okay. I hear what you're saying, yeah.
So we thought we'd actually do a head-to-head between the Mercury Edition and the Iridium. Now, we have matched as best we can to the numeric values, the settings on both the silver one, which I'm going to refer to them as silver and black, because it's quicker than saying Iridium and Mercury.
Okay.
We've matched the dials and the numbers and the settings either on top and on the side as best we can. There is going to be a certain amount of variation. There just is. And we're sorry for that, but it's negligible.
Absolutely.
We also have to do an amp switch on the amp switcher down here. Mm-hmm. So we can't just go flip, 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 flip. It's, we don't have the facilities to do that.
Yeah.
But it's pretty damn close.
Yeah.
And I think you'll hear, hopefully you'll hear, that the differences are subtle, but there is a difference. Obviously there's a difference. One's black, one's silver. But
I don't think it's subtle at all. I think there's a massive difference between the two, and I think they both do sound fantastic, as we're going to show in a minute. But
I think they sound different, but both really good different.
Oh yeah.
And it's almost like I kind of want a bit of that one. There's a little bit of mix and match going on. Certainly, from someone who is new to this form factor and this platform, they are built like a brick outhouse. I mean, the touch, the switches and everything feels really good and solid. And, this thing is designed to be trodden on when all said and done. Absolutely rock solid. Very, very impressed.
Yeah, Thomas Blug has done an amazing job with these units. I think they're just fantastic, yeah.
So should we hear them?
Yeah. Okay, so what do you want to hear first?
Let's start with which one's going at the moment.
Okay, I'm going into the Iridium at the moment.
Right, which is the black one?
Yes.
Right.
So should we do clean sounds first?
Yep.
And then my favourite dirty sounds. Let's do that.
Yes.
Yeah?
Okay. Yep.
Okay, what can I play? So that's the Iridium.
Let's switcheroo.
So this is the same settings on the Mercury Edition.
It's not subtle at all, is it?
No, I don't think so.
It's a massive difference.
But they're both good. They're both good. They're just different. I think with the Iridium, it's a lot bright. It's a lot more forward.
I'd almost say sonically scooped as well. I'd almost say there's not as much mid. There's not as much.
You're probably right. I mean, yes, the BluGuitar Amp1, the Mercury Edition sounds more vintage. Definitely, but that's what it is.
Yeah, sounds awesome.
Yeah.
But I mean, there is definitely more mid-focus on the Mercury than there is on the Iridium, I would say.
Yeah. I agree.
Should we juice it up a little?
Yeah. So, okay, on the Mercury, I use two sounds. I use a clean sound, and I use the classic sound. So that's like the JCM 800. It's the same sort of thing on the Mercury Edition. Sorry, that's what I use on the Iridium. It's the same sort of thing on the Mercury Edition. So, what are we on? We're on the Mercury Edition.
Yep.
Do you want to push the channel button? Good.
Yep. That's huge.
It's a great tone, isn't it?
It's in your face. It's got bite. It's got the kind of that chirrup kind of sound. It's got some chug to it. It sounds amazing.
Okay, should you do the...
Yep. That is a much more modern sound.
It's much more modern sound.
Much more top end.
Yeah.
Much more bite.
Yeah.
I would say. Oh, it's so hard, isn't it? I mean, they're both great sounds.
They're both great sounds, yeah. So, personally, I went for the Iridium Edition.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I mean, listen to that now. I don't know. And it wasn't like a night or day difference to go, I so prefer that. It's very different. Shall we try out the vintage setting? So what you've got to do, just dial that back.
Clunk. And
that's it.
Clunk.
Okay, so this is the Iridium. So this is the classic sound on the Iridium. It's still got that
chug kind of.
And now the other one.
There's not as much top end, not as much bite, but more mid.
Yeah, again, it is more mid. It's all mid focus, isn't it? We've obviously tried the classic. Should we do them? Oh, that is the most
girly,
feminine sneeze I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah. So start again.
Okay. So shall we? So we've done the clean, we've done the vintage, and we've done the classic. Should we do the modern?
Let's go modern.
So I don't know what this is based on. I'm guessing on the Mercury it's going to be more boogie.
Probably Mark II, Mark V maybe, or something like that.
Possibly, yeah. Possibly. So there's not as much definition. I think it's a good sound, but it's more it's not as tight sounding.
It's like a kind of an amp sag type sound, which can be really desirable. It's not a bad thing. It's just
different, yeah. So that was the Mercury. Now the Iridium.
It actually does sound a bit louder as well, which is bizarre because the other amp patches didn't.
Yes.
But it's definitely a much more modern, much more. I don't want to say scooped metal sound,
but it is. That's exactly what it is. It's a more scooped metal
but
sound.
Only a tiny bit. It's not like you have gone right. Let's take all the middle out and end up with that kind of Metallica-esque chug chug chug. I'm glad you played that wrong.
We don't want to get sued.
What a great thing. What an utterly great thing. And, of course, it's your whole amp in one thing. 100-watt Class D amp in there as well.
Yeah.
It sounds great. It's really easy to use. There's no learning curve. It's an amp.
Yeah.
Plug in, go.
Yeah.
Tread on it.
Yeah. The amount of bottom end that's on the Iridium. Switch it back. Do you know, for me... Go on.
I know what you're going to say.
Go on.
I want the clean channel from that one.
Yeah.
And I want the dirty channel from this one.
Yeah, I want the clean channel for that one.
Yep.
I want the vintage channel.
Yeah.
From the Mercury.
Yeah.
I want the classic channel from either one.
Yeah.
Possibly
modern from this one, I think, for me.
Yeah, without a doubt. Yeah. Way prefer the modern on that one.
Yeah, it's bizarre, isn't it?
Now, the good thing is that apparently what's going to be happening when the Amp X is released, it's going to be a combination of all these different amps. You're going to be able to choose all the different combinations of amps you want. To me, that is perfect.
Yeah.
So you've got the more vintage sounds, and then the more, if you want to, I'm not even saying that the classic sound in the Iridium Edition is more vintage. It isn't more modern or more vintage.
No.
It's just a slightly different sound. But you're going to get all of those variations, which I think is fantastic.
Brilliant thing.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, love it. Can I have one?
Yeah. There we go.
Go on then.
Feels good, doesn't it?
It's great. It feels like playing through a real amp. Because guess what?
It's a real amp.
Right, but I still think I'm going to switch over to the Mercury.
I'm still, and I think the classic sound for me on the Iridium, I'm preferring. But yeah, it's interesting.
I definitely prefer. I think of the two, the whole package, I prefer the Mercury.
Interesting. We should just state this is not a sponsored video.
No, not at all.
So this is a completely unbiased view. So yeah, you go for Mercury. I'd probably stick with the Iridium. Well, I'd like a combination of both. Anyway,
you say potato.
If you want. We should probably wrap it up there. Anyway, I'm Paul from the Studio Rats. I really hope you guys got something out of this. If you did get something out of it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Click on the bell button and you'll be notified of any future video that comes out from the Studio Rats. I'm Paul.
I'm James.
We'll see you next time.